In the last lesson, we took a look on how to conduct yourself before entering the interview room himself. And we took a look also at the various room tests and what is expected of you, how you comport yourself, how you package yourself, how you relate with other recruiting, how you relate with other job hunters that came for the same thing you came for. Now, if that is noted and understood, the moment you have observed all normal protocols relating to the recruiting exercise, and let's say it is now your turn to be interviewed, the PA, the secretary or the resource person has just called your attention. It is now your turn to be interviewed. What do you now do? And this is where the psychological and the mental packaging comes into play, where the recruiting officer is going to be looking into your body languages to determine if you are the one meant for the job, if you are the right fit. These tests are very, very important. So the psychological and mental packaging, the tests you are going to be, they are going to throw on you are: one, we have the door test, the safety consciousness test, the handshake test, the chair test, the sitting test, the star gaze test. Now, all these some additions, I'm going to be explaining them to you in this training section. Now, what is the door test? Now, the moment they have called your attention, they call your attention and they have pointed the door to you, you are supposed to go in, meet with the recruiting officers and get interviewed. Now, what do you do? Please, I want you to take note of this, because these things are not taught in the 4 walls of the classroom. And many graduates already, even those that have most, as a matter of fact, that have gotten employed, they are not aware of many of these tests. Now, even if it's a glass door, you can see the recruiting officers. What you do is knock. You knock the right way. In the corporate world, it is called the door test. The question is, how many times are you supposed to knock on an office door? They expect you. It is expected that you knock just 2 times. Knock. You don't knock. You don't knock 3 times. You don't knock 4 times. You don't knock 5 times. It is unprofessional. Even when you go for contract and other deals, you are expected to just knock 2 times on the door. Then wait for a voice to ask you in. If nobody asks you in, knock the second time. After knocking the second time, if you still don't hear a voice asking you in, just know that it is another test. What is that test? The ability for you to take initiative. They expect you to open the door and walk in. Now, please don't remain outside and you keep on knocking and knocking, disturbing the environment and saying within you that these people don't know you, that they must open this door today. You want to break down the door. No, if you keep on knocking, somebody will walk up to you, either from the outside or from the inside, with a smile on the face. Recruiting officers are often smiling in such situations. They will not take you to another room, AC chilled room. They will drop you on an executive chair. Then they will now offer you a bottle of chilled malt. The moment you open the malt and drink, that's it. You have already lost the opportunity. Now, what do they expect you to do? After knocking the second time, open the door and walk in. The moment you walk in, since they didn't ask you in, right from the door where you are, you see them questioning you. How dare you come in? Who told you to come in? What are you doing here? Who are you? All these things are tests. They want to test your confidence quotient. How confident are you? Some job hunters, job seekers, they will say, sorry sir. They will run out of the interview room. You have just run out of the opportunity. What are you supposed to say? What do you do? Don't run out. Just smile and say, I thought I heard someone say I should come in. Even if you didn't hear anyone, the question is, have you lied? Not at all. You have not lied. A lie would be if you say, I heard someone say I should come in, but you said, I thought. You are free to think anything. Nobody has control over your thoughts. Even God doesn't have control over your thoughts. You are a free moral agent. Now, another situation where they ask you in and you see the door slightly open, ajar, just like as you are seeing on the screen. As you are seeing on the screen, left ajar. What do? Just know whether you hear a voice asking you in, just walk in, because the door is already open for you to come in. Then also, if you are knocking on the door, sometimes the door, especially for engineering jobs, engineering, architectural jobs, building technologies, you discover that the door will be made difficult to open. Now, you try to open the door, it's not opening, especially engineering students. I'm an engineer. Engineering student, rugged man, they will just punch the door open. You see by the picture on the screen, you now scare the recruiting officers, bashing the door, kicking the door open with your shoe because it is difficult to open. You are telling them that you are irresponsible, you are a gangster. You will not get that opportunity. Take your time and open the door, then you walk in. Now, also, for interviews, as you walk into the interview environment, you will discover that a laptop will be placed on the floor. For those reading direct mass communication, you discover, or computer science, you discover a laptop is placed on the floor. Those that read engineering, you discover that they will place a T-square or a design board on the floor. Those that read the management sciences and administrative courses, a file or folder or even a laptop will be placed on the floor right before you meet with the recruiting officers. Now, what are you supposed to do? This is known as the safety test. Now, I didn't make mention of the safety consciousness test. As you walk into the interview, as you walk into the room, you knock the 2 times, you walk into the room, face the recruiting officers and close the door behind you while facing the room. Don't open the door and back the room and close. They call it the safety consciousness test. And all these things, all these tests, they are grading you. They all carry their marks. Make sure you pass them all. Then as you pass the safety consciousness test, you now see that laptop on the floor. For those reading food technology or catering and services or dietetics and nutrition, a plate of food will be placed on the floor. Now, if you walk around any of those things placed on the floor, or you jump over it because you say you don't want to step on it, at that point in time, you have lost the opportunity. This is safety test. You must pass it. Now, what are you supposed to do? You do not move around. Just pick up the laptop and hand it over to one of the recruiting officers, or place it on a desk close by or a table. You have just passed the safety test. Then you now walk up to the recruiting officers and exchange pleasantries. It is a business discussion, so you exchange pleasantries. Good morning, sir. Good morning, madam. Do you understand? Then you should shake hands. For every business discussion, there should be a handshake. But don't be proactive with a handshake. Don't give out your hand first, because if you give out your handshake and they ignore the handshake, you now start losing confidence and start feeling bad and inferior. That is where your failures start from. Wait for the recruiting officer to give you the handshake, and there's a way you are supposed to shake hands professionally. They call it the handshake test or the corporate handshake. So how do you shake hands? The way the lady shake hands differs from the way the men shake hands during recruiting exercise. See, look at the screen. For the men, you stretch out your hand, hold. Do not crush, do not chop knuckles. Chopping knuckles is not allowed. That is for gangsters. You are not a gangster. Be responsible, because if you are putting on the suit, even if you are a criminal, you are a gangster. Nobody is going to know because the suit covers up all those things. So you shake hands professionally. Pressure matching pressure. You see the diagram by the left. Do not squeeze the palm of the recruiting officers. Some of the recruiting officers that have been inside the AC environment and their palms and all have become so soft. And you, a fresh graduate, that you gym and all that, your palm is strong. You now hold and squeeze, and it's going to be feeling bad, and trouble has started for you, because within him you say, I'm going to deal with him today. Look at how he squeezed my hand. And you start receiving tough and funny questions from him, making the interview difficult for you. So you just hold. Pressure matching pressure. Now, the handshake test doesn't just carry marks, but it tests a lot about your personality. Just from the handshake, a recruiting officer, a good one, can tell about your personality makeup, can tell about your temperament. Are you a sanguine? That's those persons that are very, very sociable and outgoing. Are you the phlegmatic? You understand? Talking about the 4 basic temperaments now. Are you a melancholy or are you a choleric? Those ones that flare up and get angry easily. So just from the handshake, a recruiting officer will be able to detect all this, unless you have been trained. Just as you are listening to watching this video now, you get trained, so you now know how to counter all this, the psychological part of the recruiting exercise. Now we have spoken on that of the maze. No chopping of knuckles, no grinding of knuckles, no snapping of hands at all, no squeezing of the arm. It's called the crusher. You crush the recruiting officer's arm. Now, also, don't give the dead fish handshake. Some persons want to shake hands, especially ladies. They will just give out a limp hand. It is very, very insulting. It is not good. It's not professional. The most disrespectful kind of handshake. You do it during recruiting exercise, it is not going to help you. You understand? So for the ladies, you stretch out your hand, you tilt downwards, just like this. You tilt downwards, you see it at the top there. Pressure matching pressure. How do you shake hands as a man? You can see it on the screen by the left, by the right. That of the lady is at the top. So these are the right ways you should shake hands during recruiting exercises. Now, if that is noted, you have giving the handshake. What do you now do? Sometimes nobody will ask you to sit down. What you do is that you make a polite and humble request. Ask them, may I sit down, please? Don't say, can I sit down? It is on English. Anything you can do, you don't need to ask. And you let them know that you are the one that wrote your GST course, that you have good communication skills, because always in the CV, you see candidates putting in good communication skills. That means good communication means that both written and spoken English, you are good, you are fluent, you are good there. So when you say, can I sit down? It is on English and impolite. Now, if you ask that question, sometimes they will ignore you. They will pretend as if they didn't hear you. Ask the second time. After the second time, if they ignore you, know that it is a test. What do? Don't keep on standing. If you keep on standing, maybe for about 30, 45 minutes, they will tell you, okay, the interview is over, and you have just lost that. They want you to take initiative, to be resourceful. Just pick a chair and sit down. But make sure you pick the right chair. Now, the moment you see different kinds of chairs, and this is the chair test for you, you are going to see the king rack chair, the plastic chair, the bench, the swivel chair, the cushion or sofa, the one you have in your living room, sitting room, or parlor. Now, which of the chairs should you sit on? Now, if you sit on the plastic chair or the king rack chair or the bench, what are you telling them about your personality? You have just told them that you have inferiority complex. Of all the chairs in the environment, that is the one you choose to sit on. Some persons will even hang on, they just sit on the tip of the chair by the edge. Inferiority complex. Now, if you sit on the couch, that's the sofa, the seating, you will now be forced to relax. even cross your legs. You are telling them that you get the opportunity, you are going to be a lazy employee. And no firm wants a lazy employee. And no firm wants an employee with inferiority complex. It is out. You are out. Now, if you sit on the swivel chair, that's the MD's chair, the CEO's chair, as you sit on it, it will turn. You are now backing the interviewer as he sweeps you away from them. You now use your shoe to bring yourself. You now be forced to place your fingers on the table. You are telling them that you are the CEO, the MD, that you are supposed to be interviewing them and not they interviewing you. That is what all these things connote. They are body languages. They tell about the real you. Now, if you have watched movies, good movies like The Mentalist, Lie to Me, Criminal Minds, all these things I'm saying here, I'm talking about, you see them in these movies. They don't just use it to recruit staff. They also use it to catch criminals, because you cannot deny body language. Only those that are trained, as you are being trained now, can actually counter all this. Now, if this is noted, which of the chairs are you supposed to sit on? You sit on a normal office chair. That is the chair you are supposed to sit on, the one that has Now, supposing you have picked the right chair. Now, how do you sit down as a lady or as a young man? We call it the sitting test. All this carries their mark. Now, for the young man, just sit down with your legs parted slightly. Now, for the ladies, how do you sit down? So, basically, we say cross your leg. Now, if you are putting on a mini skirt, for the ladies, one, you do not open your leg, because if you are putting on a skirt suit, the moment you sit down, the skirt will push upwards more towards your groin. So, if you open, you now sit down, you open your legs slightly, persons might start seeing things that they are not supposed to see. Now, also, if you cross your legs during interview, a good part of your lap will be exposed. So how are you supposed to sit? You sit down, you bring your two legs together. Everything will be well covered. Now, if you know you are tall, that God has blessed you with heights, what do? You can move into the chair so that your legs will be touching the floor. Do you understand? But if you know that you are brief, I don't want to say short, but you know you are brief, do not go inside the chair so that your leg don't hang on the air, because if you do that, the interview takes like an hour, 30 minutes, and everything is now over. The interview is over. Then I say, okay, you may go. Because blood has not been flowing down to your legs, everything is all stiff up. You will not be able to come down from the chair. We have seen this happen, and the ladies now start crying. They have already failed the interview. So all these things should be taken note of. Information is very, very powerful. Many persons have missed out on opportunities because they don't know all these things. Now, if they are asking you questions are going to start coming. We are talking about some mind-boggling, teasing, radioactive, mesmerizing, and scintillating questions. Now, most of these questions will not bother on what you are taught in school, because they are not interested in just the classroom intelligence. They want to see how resourceful you are, how you can take initiative, how smart you are, your logical reasoning ability, your decision-making abilities. The moment you have all these things, organizations and multinational firms will come after you. You can even determine your salary yourself. Now, if they are asking you a question, where should your eyes be? The Stargaze test. Now, if you are looking at the floor as they're asking you questions, you are telling them you have inferiority complex. That's it. You are shy. And if you are staring up at the ceiling, you are telling them you do not value the opportunity. You are absent-minded. Now, if you are looking to the left and to the right, you are telling them that a criminal has come from an interview. You have come to embezzle the company's fund. So where now should your eyes be? The Stargaze test is very, very important. You look to the forehead of the recruiting officer. Do not stare into their eyeballs. It is unnerving. So this is how you package yourself during interviews, and try as much as possible to mimic the interviewer, copy the interviewer in the manner and language in which he's talking. Try and build rapport between yourself and the recruiting officer. Very, very, very important. Now, the Stargaze test, you have gotten it and all. They now start asking you questions. We are talking about brain teasing and technical logical reasoning questions. Take for instance, if they ask you, do you have a girlfriend or do you have a boyfriend? The question might sound very, very casual, but it is very, very important. Some persons will say, yes, I have one. Some will say, I have two. Do you understand? And the moment you say, yes, you have one, you have failed the question. Also, if you say, I don't have any girlfriend, it will not give room to other questions. So you do not answer with a yes or a no. So how do you not answer such a question? First, you need to know the meaning of a girlfriend. All these questions, they are in the book. So I'm just going to touch a few of them so that you know how to answer brain teasing question. So you need to know first the meaning of a girlfriend. Who is a girlfriend? A girlfriend is someone that you have an amoral relationship with. Maybe somebody, maybe if you are a student, you attend class together, then after the class, you take the lady home and consult with the lady when you are not legally married to that lady. That is a girlfriend for you. And according to the Nigeria Constitution, picking somebody's daughter without the parents' consent and the lady is living with you is known as abduction. It is a criminal offense. So you are invariably telling them that you don't know the meaning of a girlfriend. One, meaning that you don't have good communication skills. Then secondly, you are telling them that you are a criminal. So that is the wrong way to answer. Now, if you say you don't have a girlfriend, they will not ask you, you don't have anyone in your life. Some persons have told us that we say, no, I don't do that, I'm a Christian. Maybe you say, I'm a Muslim. They not ask you, say nobody in your life. Say, no, I said I was the fellowship leader back in school. You understand? Now, you think about it. You spent 4 years in the university, in some cases 5 years for engineering students, 6 years for law students, and in all those years, no man, no lady wants you. They don't want you at all. Then in that whole community, nobody wants you. In the whole state, nobody wants you. In this whole country, nobody wants you. You are just single. In the whole world, nobody wants you. If nobody wants you, why do you think the company will want you? Your own case is even more than the person that has 2, 3, 4 to 10 girlfriends or boyfriends. What you should do is that you should go for prayers. Now, if that is today, we have answered one. Now, what was your favorite course in school? Who is or was your worst lecturer? If you were to be an animal, what kind of animal would you want to be? Now, this is another brain teasing question. Now, some persons will just rush and they will say, I want to be a lion. They will not ask you, why would you want to be a lion? And they cannot defend the answer. So, how do you answer such a question? You must relate your answer to the job position in question. Take for instance, they ask you, if you were for a resource management position, if you were to be an animal, when we ask this question, we always ask, recruiting officers always ask the question because they want to see how resourceful you are. If you are smart and you can think on the spot, you can make decisions on the spot as well. Now, we asked this question, and a lady said she would like to be a peacock. When I asked her, why would you want to be a peacock? She said because the peacock is beautiful, the peacock is elegant, and she was twisting while she was saying all these things, gesticulating. She has told us everything. She has just told us that she is depending on her beauty, physical appearances to land the job, to get the job done, which doesn't work. Now, in the same interview, a young man said he would like to be a gorilla. When he said he would like to be a gorilla, even we started laughing. When I asked him, why would you want to be a gorilla? Here is how he answered. He said, I want to be a gorilla so I can climb the tallest tree in the jungle, look into the activities of the other animals, see what they need, then I'll now create a product or a service to market to them. This is how you answer such a question. Why would such a person not get the opportunity? Now, can you tell a lie for this firm or organization? If you say yes, you can tell a lie, any kind of lie, white lie, black lie. You are telling them you are a liar, and a liar is always a thief. Now, if you say that you cannot tell lie, maybe you are a Christian or you are a Muslim, it could as well cost you the opportunity. So how do you answer such a question? Just go and read it up in the book. Now, what do you want to pay us? All this and 50 other questions, hot common job interview questions you are going to see in the books. Take your time and go through them. Now, if after all said and done, they will now ask you, do you have a question? Always have a question to ask. Don't say, no, I understand everything. I don't have any question at all. You would have spoiled, if you have done very well, you would have spoiled it all. You should ask a question or some questions. But what kind of questions should you ask? First of all, the kind of question you shouldn't ask. Don't ask them, say, sir or madam, I saw some people moving around, young ladies. I want to ask if they are married, because I myself am single and I'm seriously searching. You don't ask such a question. Don't also ask, I'm an IT student here and I hope to be an IT student here, and I've been told that this IT student are paid 50,000 naira every month. Now, I want to know if I put in extra time. Maybe I'm supposed to close by 4 o'clock, and I now close by 6 o'clock. If the extra 2 hours, they are going to pay me bonus pay package, because I really need that money. That is not, don't ask those kinds of questions. Don't ask them if they give loan to buy a car or if they give house allowances. No, you ask them questions like this. Ask them, for instance, you could ask them, what more can I do or put in to take this organization to the next level? Or you can also ask them that you want to know the challenges that the company that they are facing and their expectation, key expectation of you, how they counter the competition from other rival companies. These are intelligent questions. And after the whole thing, tag them for the opportunity to be interviewed. Then ask for their phone numbers. If you don't have it already, ask for their contact. Don't be shy. They give you their contact. Make sure you follow up. If after like 2 to 4 weeks you have not heard from them, follow up with a letter. Then after the interview, when you get to send a thank you message to them. Now, if you have tried all your best, you have tried all your best, you have gone for all interviews, several interviews, and yet nothing to show for it. You have not gotten a job 4, 5, 6 years after your NYSC, after you have graduated. It is not the end of the world. Please do not commit suicide. The opportunity is just around the corner. With the knowledge you are getting from here, now you have gotten from here, and accompanying material, and with other materials from the company, like our GMAT, our job interview questions that confuses job seekers and the right way to answer them, you have all you need to land that juicy job. I congratulate you for getting to the end of this training, and I believe that this training comes with a certificate of completion. Print out the certificate. Your name is going to be in our database. Print out the certificate. It is going to be a plus to you. You have now been trained on job awareness skills and corporate ethics. Once again, I say congratulations. Thank you, and God bless you.